I want you to test. Um, always put your hand up when you test. You can use the TP if you want. It's fine. Fine. Just use it if you're more comfortable. Um, do any of my friends disempower me?
Oh my.
Did
I
your
mean, I
friend?
never,
Did you?
yeah, they kicked me right into the corner. Yeah, they do.
And do all my friends disempower me?
Many, the majority of them do, yes.
Now you can't like dump your friends.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is like become more
Yeah.
mature in the way that you interact with the disempowerment.
Yes, exactly.
You know, you need to be. Now, do you have any ideas about that?
Well, it's no, but I mean, just the idea of that game is fun to me because I think that will be like the final rinse for me in terms of the last thing I had confronted in my own pathological matrix is just like this little thing, and it could be related to the fact of the spinal fusion and not being able to literally twist my spine, but it feels like there's this like rot or something, a little bit left in me that somehow manifests in these gunky relationships that I'm engaging in sometimes. They're finer than they used. I'm just healthier maybe, and I'm committed to sort of dancing that fine line rather than avoiding it or running right into it real hard, which was another approach. I'm just sort of like.
Well, maybe learning more about it would help. Like, hold your hand up again and test. Has anyone ever disempowered me by offering me a job?
Yes.
And how about by offering me work, like freelance work?
Yeah.
Has anybody who I've ever, who's ever paid me for sessions, which you've had a lot of people pay you for sessions over the years, has any of those people ever disempowered me?
Yes.
Well, see, it's disempowerment is so ubiquitous that you're
It takes two.
all you, but you know what? Like when somebody is disempowering to you, you need to like nail them on it right there.
Yeah.
You really mustn't like keep silent about it. I mean, sometimes it's probably okay. You don't have to do it every time. Probably it would be the labor Hercules cleaning the stables. If you tried to do it every time. But you need to do it. Like you just need to say that's disempowering.
Oh, thank you. That would be easy. I can remember that.
Like that's disempowering. Just say they don't have to change. They don't have to stop doing it. They don't have to do anything. But you just have to talk about it. And let them know you're not fooled, you didn't get sucked in. They didn't win. They didn't disempower you.
Yeah, I need to know that for myself. It's very important. And then I can have healthier relationships when I'm knowing that and more adept at doing this.
Well, also, see, then they'll know that, yeah, that's right, because then they'll know you don't secretly hate them.
Yeah, it's also kind of like a virus or whatever. They'll go and find somebody else to fuck around with when they're in that kind of state of mind.
Well,
I won't be a good host anymore.
When people disempower you, they then start to suspect that you are going to get them back and stuff. They get into very bad ideas.
I know.
And they blame themselves, and then they start attacking you and doing all kinds of other things because they don't even, most of the time they don't know they're disempowering you.
I know. They kind of want you to feel it. But then when I don't react to it the way they expected, then they realize that I did something weird right there, didn't I? Because I used to just give them what they want. I didn't know they were doing it, so I would respond that way.
Oh, God.
Well, expected, so they would do it over and over, and it was like, and then lately,
I've seen you agree with them.
Yeah, I agreed with it essentially, so I got the ball rolling, and then now if I just stand there and not respond the same way, then they're finally realizing that they're doing something questionable. I don't even think they even knew. They just thought that was what you do, with me, or how they approach their relationship. And
so no disempowerment allowed.
Thank you.
No disempowerment. Hold your finger up. Has Chrissy ever disempowered me?
Yeah, a couple times.
And that you're empowering and you're not hiding anything or trying to look good. Or you're not trying to put anything over on somebody. And you really are very perceptive about people. So they know they're getting, they're with somebody who can spot stuff. And that's like really important. Because that's all a coach ever does is say, hey, you're not lifting up your feet high enough. That's all coaches do. You know, we stand on the sidelines and yell at people.
Rack it back.
Yeah, right. Rack it back. That's another thing. Like as a tennis coach, you're primo.
Yeah. I think I know. I'm going to help her. I mean, you're giving more insight, and I'm strong enough now to.
Yeah, we all love her.
Have
But
this
you know, one
conversation.
thing.
Yeah, I know.
See,
She loves us or herself too.
what we got to do, if we want to help people, we have got to learn to talk about them behind their backs. Because you cannot talk with about people when they're around because they interfere with what you're saying. So you have to know about people, you have to understand them before you approach them, before you do that session, before you have that meeting. You know, I want to tell you, if you ever give somebody the idea that something else is more important, like whatever they think should be more important, you are selling yourself out.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I know what you mean. I mean, tonight being here right now is an example of that. And that's what I meant about earlier, before we were taping, maybe when I said I felt like I sort of cured something tonight, or felt like what it's like to be cured, because I finally felt like, well, oh yeah, that's what a good decision feels like, or that's I didn't even know I was basing my choices on something rather than just like accessing through. Maybe it's because my body's healthier due to the chocolate and other things that my signal is just like it's like easier. It's just like my own flow is more apparent, and I have different people around me and so forth. But I was able to choose to be. I know that, and that could be. I just knew that I would get value from this, and I knew what I'm nourished. I'm in my own home. I'm relaxed. I don't have to drive anywhere when we're done. You know, I just made a nicer evening for myself.
Well, you know, there is no harm in doing whatever is easier. And it doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything is more important. It just means, you know, sometimes it's nice to relax.
Yeah.
And you can do the easier thing, you know. It's no problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because
undermine you to do that.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. You reminded me of that the other day, and I keep remembering just to sit comfortably, for example. But this woman I was seeing was, you know, let's take a bath and all that. But actually, that, you know, I didn't mean to say, yeah, that sounds good. Let's take a bath. But and I realized that was the other nourishing option. But I'm happy with my choice.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you know, it's more nourishing for me to be with you this way than in that environment right now. And so there I am, safe and sound and warm.
Safe and warm. So that was Franny and my code.
Technology. That's what I don't know. I'm in my virtual reality. What can I tell you?
Well,
stay out here. So you making a lot of money doing that, or what? Hey, there's a story going around town about me that I want to tell you.
Okay.
Okay. It's this guy, Jim Terry. He's actually a really cool guy. He's a videographer himself. He took care of my dog Griffin for one time. He's friend Nancy Kenny's, and he was hanging around at this gallery I was working for a while. And he starts talking about Griffin and taking care of Griffin. And I saw him weeks later, and he tells the story. He said, yeah, because this is true. I saw him in a restaurant, and he said something like, well, what are you doing? And I said, yeah, same. Cure Drive and distributing the chocolate, working on Cure Drive, doing some sessions online. And he's like, so you making any money doing that? And this is the story he tells. Barb says to me, he says to Barb, are you making any money doing that? I said, no, but at least I'm not miserable like you are. he says, you're right. So he says that he tells that to people, and they say, do you know Barb Redson? He goes, I was kind of flattered, actually. At first I thought it was going to be a mad story. Because he does a lot of stuff like that, too, and, you know, whatever, pro bono work and things like that. But he's also walks around with a really long face. He's always, like, totally bummed out. So it'll be nice to get some new work over the internet, hopefully.